Hello, I'm James Bohr, the Director of Bohr's Consultancy Limited. We're a cybersecurity firm established originally as a family business focusing on digital signal processing and now in cybersecurity. And one of the things that we do, and that I try to promote as much as I can, is training around threat modeling. Now, if you don't know, threat modeling is an approach to building security into the design of a product or a system. So you do it as early as possible, and it saves a lot of money on fixing security problems later on. There are loads of methods for it out there, and this is just my attempt to get the basics out as quickly as possible. So while I normally do about a 2-hour introduction workshop and can do multi-day tutorials on particular methods and building a bespoke method for an organization's individual threats, this is an attempt to get the very, very basic concepts of threat modeling out to as many as possible and get them down to 60 seconds. There's a few assumptions before we start that 60-second race. So I'm working from the basis that threats are always going to be a who. We're talking about security, not safety, and we are talking about people being a threat. We're not talking about things that just happen. You can use threat modeling against those. I specialize on attackers, on people trying to compromise a system rather than on environmental threats. The second one is that utility beats perfection. You can spend a lot of time doing threat modeling and you come out of it with a brilliant model which no one has actually used because you've spent so much time building it that someone's gone and finished the product without you. And the third one is that the spelling of modeling, like whether cybersecurity has a space or not, it's a regional difference. No one should care. It doesn't matter in the least. I spell it with 2 L's because I'm in the UK. People in the US tend to spell it with 1 L. Simple as that. So here we go, as quickly as possible. The first thing we have to ask in threat modeling is, where are we actually going? What is the system for? Step one, what is the aim of the system? What is it for? What do we want to achieve? Secondly, step two, consider who wants to interfere and why. Are they after money? Are they after data? Do they just want to cause disruption and shut you down? Step three, what could they actually do about it? What tactics might they use? What capabilities might they have? What resources do they have available to attack you? What can they do? Step four, what can we do about the things that they can do? Can we close down gaps? Can we discover gaps that they might use? What can we do to prevent them from achieving their goals and make sure we achieve ours? And then finally, step five, we've done it, we've used our model, we've fixed things. What can we learn from that for next time? What do we need to watch out for? What do we need to fix in future? And that's threat modeling in 60 seconds. Now, just a few final tips. Formal, structured, and documented threat modeling will always beat informal, unstructured, and undocumented. What you really want is a repeatable process that you can just do every time you're doing an iteration, whether that's designing a brand new system, putting a new project in place, or making a change to one that already exists. Having it documented and repeatable is invaluable. Secondly, I did mention this at the beginning, but good enough is far better than perfect. It's much better to do a quick threat model and get action on the outcomes of it or the output of it than to do something absolutely perfect but spend so long doing it that no one ever uses it. And step three, related to that one, if you are working with development, if you are a security team working with development, you need to take the tempo set by the developers if you want to get your threat model used. You cannot afford to create friction. You cannot afford to slow them down, or you end up in an unpleasant adversarial relationship. That's not to say there can't be gates, there can't be checks. It's just that it needs to be recognized that development works at a certain speed, and as security people, we need to keep up with that, not try and slow them down to match us. Finally, just some thank yous. The photos were taken by these people and are licensed from Unsplash, or using the license that Unsplash makes available, and the countdown was taken from videasy.com. Thank you.